Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about digital multiplexing techniques. In this, today's topic are digital multiplexing, classification of multiplexing techniques, frequency division multiplexing that is FDM, time division multiplexing that is TDM and multiplexing hierarchies in digital communication. So first we will see what is digital multiplexing. All forms of telecommunications, including radio, telephone, and television, use multiplexing to send and receive the information. The MUX is the very crucial component of the communication system. This is because in such systems, we need to select a single channel from various other channels. A multiplexer can be considered as a digitally controlled switch. The controlling code which selects a particular input line can be given as binary input in the form of selection lines. The output will be one of the inputs given to the MUX, which is decided by selection lines. So this is what we can see: multiplexing and demultiplexing. Multiplexing at the transmission side, then the signal multiplex signal will be given to the channel, and then at the receiver side demultiplexing will be done. That is one input and many outputs are there, and then original signal will be received. Multiplexing, it was first designed as a mean to send multiple data streams simultaneously through one transmission line. An integrated circuit reads and analyzes each individual signal or data stream that is being input into the multiplexer and assigns it with a fixed length of time slot. Once assigned, the multiplexer now has what is called a single composite signal, which it then transmits as a piece of data via the high-speed transmission line. The receiver then recovers the separate signals and reanalyzes it through a process called demultiplexing. On the other end of the high-speed transmission line, the composite signal is reanalyzed and separated by a demultiplexer or demux. So we can see the classification of multiplexing over here. Here, the multiplexers, basically they are divided in two parts, what we can say, or they are classified as analog and digital multiplexers. Again, analog multiplexers are classified as FDM and WDM, whereas FDM is a frequency division multiplexing and WDM, that is wavelength division multiplexing. In digital multiplexers, there is TDM, that is time division multiplexing. Again, we can find out a synchronous TDM and asynchronous TDM also. So, we'll just start with the topic, that is FDM, frequency division multiplexing. The operation of FDM is based on sharing the available bandwidth of communication channel among the signals to be transmitted. That means many signals are transmitted simultaneously, with each signal occupying a different frequency slot within a common bandwidth. Each signal is then transmitted modulates with different carriers. The modulation can be AM, SSB, FM, PM. The modulated signal are then added together and to form a composite signal which is transmitted over a communication channel. The spectrum of the composite FDM signal we can find out, that means in that we can find out for each and every signal the different carrier frequencies will be allotted over here. So channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. They are sending by using different carrier frequencies, and at the receiver side demultiplexing will be used, and so we can again recover our original data, that is signal 1 is transmitted. Here also at the same time we will be getting signal 1, 2, 3. So FDM is an analog multiplexing that combines analog signals, and it is applied when the bandwidth of link is greater than the combined bandwidth of a signal to be transmitted. From this diagram, it's very clear that is what is FDM. In FDM, as I told you, that is each signal modulates a separate carrier. Here we can see F1, carrier F2, carrier F3. The modulator output will contain the side bands of the corresponding signals, and that are given to the adder. The modulator outputs are added together in a linear mixer or a adder. The linear mixer is different form of the normal mixers. Here the sum and difference frequency components are not produced, but only the algebraic addition of the modulated outputs will take place. Different signals are thus added together in the time domain, but they have a separate identity in the frequency domain. This composite signal at the output of a mixer is transmitted over a communication channel, and the signal can be used to modulate a radio transmitter if the FDM signals is to be transmitted through air. Now, we'll see about frequency division demultiplexing. Here, the composite signal is applied to a group of bandpass filters. So here, number of filters are used. This composite signal is given to, or it is applied to a group of bandpass filters. Each bandpass filter has a center frequency corresponding to one of the carriers. So here we can see the same carrier frequency it has. The bandpass filter has an adequate bandwidth to pass all the channel information without any distortion. Each filter will pass only its channel and reject all other channels. So here we can find out different signal frequencies which are passed through bandpass filter. The channel demodulator then removes the carrier by and recovers the original signal back with the help of demodulators. So here again we can easily recover our original signal back. This was the transmitted signal, the same signal we are getting over here. So number of bandpass filters are used and number of demodulators are used to regenerate our modulating signal back. So this is known as a frequency division multiplexing. In this type of multiplexing, signals are generated by sending different device modulated carrier frequencies, and these modulated signals are then combined into a single signal that can be transported by the link. The channels can be separated by unused bandwidth. Some of the examples for the time division multiplexing include radio and television signal transmission. Now we can see analog hierarchy, that is AT&T hierarchy. One of such hierarchical system, that is AT&T, is used and it is made up of groups. You can see here the first group is there, then super group is there, master group is there, and jumbo group is there. The levels of multiplexing is also called as a multiplexing hierarchy. The different levels of multiplexing, which is also called multiplexing hierarchy, in this the 4 levels are there. In the first level, this is called as a basic group. We can see first FDM is used, that is frequency division multiplexing, for which 12 input channels, that are void channels, are applied. They are having the frequencies 4 kilohertz. So 12 into 4, that means 12 voice channels are multiplexed, or they are frequency division multiplex, and then they are transmitted. So if you find out the frequency at this stage, at this point, 12 voice channels are there with the frequency that is 48 kilohertz. This is known as a basic group. Such 5 signals can be multiplexed by using level 2. Output of that, it is considered, or this group, it is known as a super group, where 60 voice channels are multiplexed, because 12 voice channels, that is one group, and such 5 groups are multiplexed over here. Then the level 3, here such 10 super groups are multiplexed and we are getting the output, that is known as, this group is known as a whole and soul, that is master group, with 600 voice channels and the frequency that is 2.52 megahertz. Next group is jumbo group, where 6 master groups are frequency division multiplex. At the end, 3600 voice channels are multiplexed over here. So the advantages of, basically, for FDM, that is a large number of signals can be transmitted simultaneously. So here North American and international FDM carrier standards are given. Number of voice channels, that is 12. Then in the second group 60, next third 300, next group 600, 900 and so on. With the bandwidth that is 48 kilohertz, then 240 kilohertz for these many voice channels. The group names are given: group, basic group, super group, master group, like that, and jumbo groups. Now, the advantages of FDM. It does not need any synchronization between the transmitter and receiver. This is simpler and easy demodulation. It is used for analog signals. Due to slow narrow band fading, only one channel gets affected, and a large number of signals can be transmitted simultaneously. With all these advantages, it also has disadvantages. All the frequency division multiplexing channels get affected due to wide fading. A large number of modulators and filters are used. The communication channel must have a very large bandwidth over. A frequency division multiplexing, it suffers from a problem of crosstalk. And the applications, it is used in television broadcasting. First generation cellular telephones, they use FDM. The next type of multiplexing, that is TDM, time division multiplexing. The process called multiplexing is used in order to utilize common transmission channel or medium to transmit more than one signal simultaneously. So as we have seen, there are two main methods, that is FDM, TDM. In TDM, all the signals to be transmitted are not transmitted simultaneously, as it is time division multiplexing. Instead, they are transmitted one by one. Each signal will be transmitted for a very short time. One cycle or frame is said to be complete when all the signals are transmitted once on the transmission channel. The TDM principle we can find out here, that is, first channel, here four channels are shown. The channel A, channel B, channel C and channel D. So, first sample of your first channel will be sent. Then first sample of your second channel will be sent, similarly third and fourth. So it will complete one cycle or one frame. Next again, second sample of first signal, second sample of B channel, second sample of C and similarly D. So this is again considered as a one more frame. So such as we are transmitting the samples of your signals. At the other side, again you can find out demultiplexing will be done and we are getting our signal back. So in this technique, it is used basically to transmit a signal over a single communication channel by dividing the time frame into slots, one slot for each message signal. The time division multiplexing is primarily to digital signals, applied to digital signals as well as analog signals, wherein several low speed channels are multiplexed into high speed channels for transmission. So this is very simple TDM system and TDM frames. So as I told you, source A, B and C are present over here. The A1 component or that sample will be sent first and then B1 and then C1. It will complete one frame, similarly second frame and third frame. So on the common channel, these TDM frames will be transmitted. In this, again we can see a digital hierarchy by using TDM, that is time division multiplexing. Here 24 signals are there and that are multiplexed by using one multiplexing or one multiplier, that is TDMO here. So into this it will be giving you, that is the digital group, that is output, that is a DS1. Such 24 signals, that means such 24 DS0 signals will be multiplexed by using second multiplexing level. Similarly, such 4 DS1s will be here. We can see DS1 again, third and fourth DS1. We will be getting DS2 group. So the output of this, the second one, it will be like 7 such DS2 signals will be applied to the third level and such DS6 that means DS3, 6 DS3 signals will be applied to the last multiplexing. So with this, you can find out that is the rate, that is 274.17 Mbps here. So this is the multiplexing, that is time division multiplexing. The advantages over here are the hardware required for the TDM is very less. It has dynamic coordination. It provides more throughput than the FDM. There is no intermodulation distortion. TDM provides higher efficiency than FDM as it has dynamic coordination. With all these advantages, it also has disadvantages. It needs synchronization. Another noticeable disadvantage is that TDM provides less latency than FDM, and address information and buffer is also needed. Thank you.